Welcome to xEssentials Lite Connector Edition. So we're going to take all of these different tools and make all of this connect to wire. Let's begin. Alright, these are crimp connectors, and then we have the more advanced crimp connectors with heat shrink. So there's two real different types, actually three I guess, that I know about, and one is a butt connector. It's basically where you just bring a wire into this side and then a wire into this side, and then you crimp both sides, and then you would heat shrink this down, and then that would be a permanent connection. There's these ring connectors, which you take the screw out and then put the screw through here, and then that way it never comes loose, but it's just a crimp. And they come in different sizes. So mainly in what we do in our hobby, there's three different sizes that you're going to be dealing with, which is yellow, which is 10 to 12 gauge, blue, which is 14 to 16 gauge, and then red, which is 18 to 22 gauge, AWG or American Wire gauge. So for this little workshop, what we're going to do is we're going to simulate connecting a spade or a fork connector, which is, so this is yellow, so it's 10 to 12 gauge. This is 10 gauge wire. And then what you do is you just strip back your insulation. You don't need even this much. All you need is basically that much. But so you just place it over the wire. Make sure that you get all the strands of the wire in there, which I'm not for some reason. So let me give that a twist. That should go better. There we go. So that's just barely touching right there. You don't need the strands to come out onto the fork. You just need a good solid crimp. So you take your pair of crimpers, whatever they may be, and go on the yellow side of it. So this says here 10 to 12 gauge. So you put it over the crimp like so, and then you squeeze it until it clicks or it locks down or you can't squeeze it anymore. And then that's a pretty solid connection right there. And then you apply heat to the heat shrink itself. I'm knocking stuff over that you can't see on the video. No, come back here. All right. All right. I got it on low heat right now. It's going to take a second. This thing was cold, but this is about 550 degrees. Oh yeah, it's getting hot now. There she is. So once this cools off, that's a better connection than just a crimp alone. That gives you a little more support. It also prevents it from pulling out. The crimp connection is probably the worst connection that you can do, solder being the best. So there it is. And a quick tip. This is this is the yellow spade connector or fork connector. This will not fit in a mean well the way that it is right now. The terminals are too narrow. So what you can do is just grab a pair of pliers and gently squeeze it in a little bit like that. And now it'll fit in nice and neat for you. All right, that's the end of that one.